He don't have it. He's fine.
You know what to do, right, when it pop up. Hey, Dallas.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
hey, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
In the criminal justice system,
Can you hear me?
sexually based
Yep.
offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who
There he is.
these are their stories.
These are their stories. Don't.
Dennis don't have his
Yes.
Yeah, I have volume.
yeah,
I can hear you.
volume. I just don't see his video.
This is Captain Beth Williams. This is the United States.
Hey, DK, turn on your video.
Hey,
So, G.
what's going on, man? Did y'all have a probably one of the more beautiful days of the year was here today? How was it there?
There you go.
It was,
Yay.
Hey,
There he
yeah,
is.
as you can see, Dennis done moved outside, so it ain't that.
I was about to say, looks pretty good out there, Dennis.
Yeah.
Getting a little cloudy though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a thunderstorm here at about 7 o'clock.
Look like it's fitting to do something.
Hey, Dennis, I was gonna tell you, I was just looking at it a minute ago, that Roku had dropped down $6. What I forgot what can you look right quick? What did you set? What number did you set it at?
125.
125. Oh yeah. You can probably buy that back for. I'm gonna look. Matter of fact, I'll tell you. Because the following week is looking good.
Look like it closed at 120.
Yep. Let me see. Yeah. So 125 is what you said. Let's see here. Yeah, 158. Yeah, it's at 158. What did you receive for it?
About 900 and something, 970.
My God.
We probably gonna buy that back. We're gonna buy that back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because right now it's only worth 158. So we can buy that back and roll it into next week. Next week the same strike price 125. They going for 710.
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan right there, sir.
Oh,
Yep.
I think Chuck rolled out of RCL today.
Oh, he did? Okay, I saw it was like 41. They got to like 41.
Yeah.
I just stayed put, man. I'm like,
Just let it expire. Yeah.
I mean, if it continue to, jet up, I mean, I'm looking.
Right.
It ain't
Right. Of
sneaking
course.
by me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't too many things gonna get by me no more.
No,
I
because
got my eye on you.
yeah, it'll run, boy.
Yeah. So Chuck finally got out today, huh?
No. Well, you know what? It won't expire. I mean, it won't get executed till Friday.
Yeah.
On the call side, I think he rolled out of what did he say? Yeah, I think he had one on a put on RCL as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. He had a put in a call, yeah.
yeah. I just talked to him. Is that him texting me?
Mhm.
Yeah, he said go ahead, be on in a few.
Okay.
Yeah, Home Depot checking out.
Yeah. All right. So today I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the earnings call. Hold on, let me share my screen. All right, so everybody can see that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So under so I know we had talked in the past about when you whatever you investing in, kind of know and leave some stuff on your calendar to remind you of whenever they are going to have an earnings report coming out. So for all the Boeing investors, Boeing has an earnings report tomorrow morning, post pre-market, I believe is what it said. Hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna be before the market open. So just be prepared tomorrow if they come in less than the projected earnings, they may falter a little bit. Hold on. Keep in mind though that Boeing is very volatile. It has been for forever. Let me see. You can go here. So there's two spots on the dashboard that you can look to kind of go check it out. But you got the earnings button here, and then you got the calendar button here. And when you click on that, I think I kind of showed you all this a couple weeks back when we did the stock screeners, and you can kind of click on different dates and get the different different data that you need to kind of keep up with all the companies that you're investing in. Make sure you know when they're about to report some type of news, and that's kind of part of the Can Slim process too. You want to know when all these dates, whether they rolling out new products, earnings reports, any news. I know last week we kind of set some of the Google notifications on companies that we use Boeing as an example, but you can set notifications for Google to send you information on the companies that you're invested in. So as an example, I'll just go to earnings, right? We can just walk through it and see. So can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So typically what they have, right? So want to kind of talk through how these earnings reports go. So the first earnings report in the new year is basically reporting on what they've done the last 3 months. So they'll have one in January, but those are the ones that capture October, November, December. They'll report in January and then report again in April. So you'll have two earnings reports in like a 4-month period, but one is reporting the prior year's last 3 months and the other one is reporting the current year 3 months. So when we target, when you look at this, so everybody's like, well, what are they reporting? And you can all go listen to that call tomorrow too. So they'll say, well, what are the numbers? Like what are the targeted numbers, right? So they'll have these earnings announcements, and they'll have they'll have numbers up here that and all it is just a census, right? So it's not a hey, they must hit this or it's the end of the world. It's just a projection of where all of the all of the analysts said, hey, they should be right around this number. So it's just a projection. It's not a set in stone number that they're looking for, but it is a projection. It is a projected number that they're looking for. So here, you can see like they saying that the difference from the census is down 116%. I know it sounds like amazingly bad, right? But when you're talking about Boeing, that may not be as bad as it appear if you were talking about Dunkin' Donuts. They have these dates here so that you can see. So they'll have this next earnings announcement, and when you're putting your puts on and you get to this point, that date right there, it may be a week. It may be the week that you may not even want to set a contract out there because you want to be able to react to the market. And seeing that this is this announcement is coming out on Wednesday, you still got Thursday and Friday to go, far enough away from the money where you can grab you maybe $200 maybe and still be in the safe zone. But if you put this trade out on Monday and this earnings report is on the 29th, which falls on a Wednesday, you could be setting yourself up to have to run back right away because you don't know how the market is going to react to the news. So tomorrow will be kind of interesting to see how the market reacts to Boeing's news. I mean, I was talking to Gerald this morning, telling him that they bagged out of a deal, I think, with a overseas commercial airline company, and that may not be a bad thing. That may be to reserve cash. I think the deal was on the table for $4.2 billion. Yeah. So seeing that they took the $62 billion from the government, it might not be good at the end of the day to take money from the government and still be involved in acquisitions. So you have to think like, what is the public going to say that you're taking $62 billion from the public, but here you are still buying up companies. Like, you can't do both. And so that news may appear to be bad when you first read it on the surface, but it may be probably one of the best things that the management team at Boeing probably did, just to reserve some cash and not be in the spotlight. Because it's no different than like Ruth Chris and some of those other companies that got that money that basically decided, hey, I'm gonna give it back. Shake Shack, Dennis had brought to our attention last week. Shake Shack got $10 million and decided to give it back. Once they announced that Shake Shack was giving the money back, Shake Shack stock went up because people took that as that they were cash heavy. They were okay. They're not irresponsible owners and management wise, and they didn't even need the cash. They didn't need the bailout or the stimulus. So it appeared to them that, hey, Shake Shack's in good shape, revenue and cash wise. So I hope that makes sense to you all, because you got to be able to look into the news and kind of see how that may affect the market, and it reacts differently. I wanted to show everybody here too. So if you go to I think on the calendar, if you go to your calendar, you can go right in here and they'll have this earnings report. They kind of break it down a little bit more on this calendar call, but you can actually go in and listen to it. You see that when I hovered over that little green horn there, it says listen to the conference call. So you're an investor in Boeing. It may be beneficial for you to go in there and listen to it. At least get your feet wet and see how they go. Like, here's some of the questions that are being asked, because this is what I found helpful for me. Even if a company reports a bad month, if they got a plan to roll out additional products in the near future and do some of these amazing things that they may tell you about on this call, I may stay in it because I've listened to the call and I'm not speculating anymore. I'm actually listening to the guys that makes the decisions. And so I'm hoping that I can get information on the call before it comes out on Google, because it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. And so you'll have people in the room that'll write up information based on the call, and you'll get that information at some point, but the people that joined the call got it that day. It was instant for them. So it's beneficial to say, hey, let me just go in here and listen to the call and, you know, see what it's about, see if I can gain any information from it. And then from that, you may invest more money into a stock that's coming down, because you kind of heard that, hey, I like some of the things that they're about to do in the near future. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
You can actually, if you go to the calendar, you can actually come in here and listen to the conference call. It's very beneficial. That way you can talk amongst your partners, discuss what how you deciphered the call. And like I said, I've used these conference calls in the past to invest more money, because the products that they talked about rolling out, I was like, hey, I'll wait for that rollout, but I might as well catch it at a discounted price while I can, because at the end of the day, it's gonna move back up on you. So I wanted to show you too, so everybody knows where to go get that information, right? Just go type whatever company it is, just go click on the calendar. Going forward, so they have these, and I know this is a question, right? So how do you know when the next one is coming? Typically, they'll have last year's dates, right? So last year, they had that's the dividend payment. I'm sorry. So last year, so the next one, you can almost expect the next one to be in July. So the next one will be in July, then the next one will be in October, and then they're going to report from October, November, December numbers will be reported in January. Or I'm sorry, November, December, and all of January be reported at the end of January. So you can kind of get a feel to when those are going to happen, even though they're from 2019. They do it the same month. It might not be the same day, but they do it the same month every year. So if it was in April last year, it's in April this year. Now, it might not have fell on the 29th. It could have been on, the 20th or whatever. But just expect Boeing's next earnings report to come out in July. You can see the history here on the screen. As you look at some of these numbers, right, you can see in July, they had an earnings estimate range, and they'll give these ranges, right? They just want Boeing to fall within those ranges. So it's, like I said, it's not like getting a bad report card. It's more of, how much money did you bring in? And the reason why Boeing is, to me, and this is just Delos' opinion, it's hard to gauge Boeing's earnings because they get so many government contracts, and those government contracts come out whenever they need them. So it's kind of tough to go, Boeing can make $80 billion a year off the government, just making planes for them. So it's kind of tough to say, hey, one of their biggest clients is the government. So it's hard to judge them on missing earnings numbers, because a lot of their incoming revenue is driven by activity from the government activity, basically. I want to show you the volatility. So when you're setting yourself up around these earnings dates, let's look at. So we knew from last. Hold on, let me show you this, because I want to go back and look in time, right? So we can kind of get a feel of what Boeing did last year around this same earnings report. So the last year's earnings report was in April. So we're just gonna go back to April of 2019, right? We knew the next one was in July. So we're gonna hit those 2 months right quick, okay?
All right.
So it's already set up for let me set it up for 1 year. All right. right, so we're in April. Let me do this. So their last earnings report was in January. And I'm gonna go back. Let me see what so January 29th, 2020 was the last earnings report, okay? Everybody see that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this chart. So January 29th. So that would be, let me see if I can get this smaller. Come on. Come on. Make me look crazy. Crap. Hold on, let me get my mouse. All right.
Joe, having a service for your mother's brother?
Yeah. I just got off the phone with her. She's not gonna go.
Is that going to be here in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely gonna be there in St. Louis. They're doing the whole for the wake anyway. Whole mass social distancing, 10 people in at a time.
Yeah, they've been doing that, yeah. Different times.
Yeah, it's tough to process.
Are they going to set it up on Zoom, do you know, so she can get a chance to look at it or anything like that?
That I don't know, because they have been doing that as well.
Yeah, someone did that last week. I saw where they did that at a funeral, set up Zoom.
I have to ask about that, Dennis. I saw something like that recently on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it done last week.
Crap. All right, guys, I'm struggling here.
You just trying to get the date so you can see 29?
Yeah.
I can never get it on this one. The Thinkorswim platform.
Yeah, you can nail it down. I'm trying to pull it up on this joker here.
2020.
I'm gonna try to stretch it from there to there and see what happens. Crap.
See if I can pull it up.
Okay.
And talk through it if I can pull it up on my mobile.
All right.
It was January 29th.
Yeah, January 29th. Hold on, G. Let me see if I can do it this way. Before you go through that trouble.
Okay. No trouble.
All right, so this the 27th. Over to the right is gonna give me. So we can do it this way, G.
Yeah, roughly right about there, huh?
Well, that's it right there. So I know, can you guys see over here? Over here, the date's gonna change. And this is where you're gonna be able to see the difference. So this is the 29th. The 29th, the stock was, it opened up at 324, the high was 327, the low was 319, and it ended up closing at 322. So on the 29th of the last earnings report, it didn't really react. Nobody reacted. The only difference is, do you see the cost of the stock in January?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. So everybody know right about March 9th there, if you can see it on the screen, everybody kind of know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Uh-huh.
That's the COVID-19 dip. So
Yeah.
I would almost have, so I know they did, let's go back to April of last year. Let me see. May. So hopefully this will pull up April 30th. Still kind of same thing. The stock didn't really react to it. It didn't, there was no real jerky movement.
Tell you what, go back to March 19th when the plane crashed.
It's still,
Of 2019.
Yes, sir.
That's it right here. So that's what I was telling you yesterday. This morning, Gerald. So January, February. So I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
So March. What day? You know?
It was March 19th.
March 19th when the plane crashed. Okay. Well, this 318. So March 19th, and that's what I was telling you, G. Hold on, let me do this. So you can see it was trading below. Let me see if I can get a accurate.
Pretty sure it was March 19th. I remember.
That's March 9th. That's 2018. You talking about 2019, right?
Yeah.
So it was trading at like before. I thought it was a little earlier, G, like earlier in the month, but it was trading at 400. The high was $422. Soon as the news broke, it dropped. This is the news break right here.
Okay.
So from 400, from 422, it fell down to like $360 roughly.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, $60 drop.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have to get my Thinkorswim up the next time we discuss this, but it looks like the Boeing news didn't really trigger a whole lot of emotion. It kind of just traded sideways. I'm gonna do a year-to-date view because we know in January. Yeah, so they had an earnings report, and to be exact, that earnings report was January the 29th. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
January 29th.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. So that was this year. Go back to the chart. January of this year. January 29th. That's the 28th. So on the 29th, it was at $322. And it looked like the stock went up. to about 350. So it moved. So I guess it did react. It just didn't react that day, but it went from 322 on 129, the actual earnings report date. It went from 322 to 350. So it jumped up $30. That's showing you that, you know, the stock is volatile and moved $30 like that
Yeah.
in less than 10 business days. A $30 move. So I'm gonna just open it up for questions. That's all I wanted to show you all. So if you know you got stock that you're trading in, just know when those earning dates are out, because you don't want something to, you know, the market to react to some bad news and it start running down on you before you can get out of it. That's if you don't want it. I know Tony, I'll let Tony speak to it, but Tony, you put on and I'll let Dennis go next. So Tony disappeared on us.
Yeah, there I am, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Tony, you want to speak to? I saw you. I got your text, and I wrote it in my book, but I'll let you talk to the trades that you made this week.
Yeah, like I said, I went back with Boeing again. And, well, no, I put Boeing on the call side. When I was assigning those stocks, I put them on the call Monday, went on Monday. And I did, I was looking at 144 and 142 strike, but I went ahead and went with a 140. And like I say, I see it kind of did pretty good today. I think it's up to about 131 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 131, yeah. So I put that on the call side, and I went with Wayfair this week. I think they were, when I went in on Monday, started to wait till Tuesday, but I went ahead and put one in. Premium was pretty good. So I went ahead Monday. And I think I did, I think the stock on Monday was running about 133 per stock, and I did a 110 strike. And I see it dropped about $4 or $5 today. So, yeah, I think it's down to 123 right now, and I've got a 110 strike. So.
So far, Tony, like I know I see your understanding is getting a lot better, a lot clearer. Hopefully, these meetings are helping you make better decisions, because that's what they're designed to do. So.
Yeah, because I was looking at that 115 strike, you know, it's kind of, you know, looking at the money, the premium was a little bit better, but then I said, hey, let me step back and do just 110 to be safe, you know, and, you know, I feel pretty comfortable. It was at 133, like I said, when I jumped in. So I felt pretty good at the 110, but yeah, I was looking at the 115 too.
Yeah.
But,
now the Wayfair looking nice.
only thing I saw when I was doing my analysis, I was kind of leery on the RSI was a little high on overbought side. So it was up there. So I figured the price was probably going to start coming down a little bit. Yeah. Because I forgot what the RSI was, but it was pretty high. So yeah. And I still went with the.
Let me ask you guys a question. When I'm trying to figure out the best way to use the RSI. I don't know if it's a personal thing, because if you look at it in a 1 day, 2 hour, or 1 day, 5 minute, that thing yo-yo up and down every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If you spread it out to a 5 day or a 10 day RSI, now you're getting a slower reaction, I guess. And if I remember right, that video, maybe that was another video on RSI that I was looking at.
Is that Wayfair that you're showing right there?
Yeah, that's Wayfair.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, it was pretty high. That was the only thing that kind of worried me there. Yeah.
If you put the number on 14, that's representing 14 days. Okay. I was putting it on 10 because we trade in a work week, so I was looking at 10. Mm-hmm. So if you do 5 days, if you do a 5 day RSI, then you're getting a 10-day kind of a charting. But if you go down to 1 day, you're getting a 10-hour. Was that in that video? Anybody remember seeing it in that particular video that I shared? Because I may be getting some videos mixed up. But anyway, my point is like I'm still a little bit confused on how should I really be using that RSI, because surely you can see when the stock's going to come down or when it's going to go up. We get that. But it just moves so fast on the 1 day that I don't know how I could ever implement it other than the way that I'm implementing it. I can't find no divergent. I'm not using it in that fashion. How do you use it, Delos and Tony and Dennis? How you been looking at that thing?
Is it best probably, Delos, to leave it at the 10? What's the better one, the 10 or the 14 probably?
I leave it at 10 because I'm trading because I'm trading weekly. So I just want to know from week to week what it's doing. I don't necessarily need the like you said, you saw. So when I changed it to 1 day, did everybody see that? I'm just moving in the background here as Gerald was talking, but I'll go back.
Yeah.
So when I changed this charts. And when I changed this to a 1 day, it kind of didn't. It's kind of like the data is not registered or something. Because it's going. Yeah, this is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of. It's not picking up this movement here. So when I go to a 5 day, it kind of looks like the 10 day. So. And it holds true. The market here, it was oversold. It stayed down there oversold for a while. Yeah. So people that were selling puts, they, it kind of moved sideways for them. It kind of helped them out because it didn't really, come down, but at this point right here, this level here, that would be, a scary moment for me because of where it had came down from. But, this is also part of the COVID dip. Yeah. So it's, until we get out of this COVID, reaction, it's gonna, once this stuff go back and normalize, which it looks like, just think anybody on March 23rd would have bought this stock. Look what it did. Yeah. That's a put options trader's dream right there. The stock just run away from you for a month. Yeah. Like and then the premiums that they were paying. Look at this. Yeah, that's why the premiums are so high. Yeah. Because that stock just took off, and this is why you want to have 4 or 5 companies that you look into. Just like this, where most people would have said, hey, man, it's a $40 stock, I wouldn't touch it. Most people that did the fundamental analysis said, hey, I get why it went down. Like when you see this dip, you can kind of say, yeah, I understand this. And so should, a lot of people. But this is where the stock was just moving up. It kind of moved sideways, then it went up again, moved sideways, then went up again, moved sideways. Went up again, and maybe it's peaking a little bit. Now it's coming back, but it matches the RSI. It went into the stratosphere right there. It started running away from all those put options contract strategists and ran right into the call side. Anybody that had calls during this time had to back up several times, I'm sure, because it just came at them. It came at them, it came right at them. But now it's trading over, like if you see up here, it's trading overbought again, just like it did down here. So history tells you if it's overbought, the stock is gonna come down because it's overbought. And when that starts to happen, all the people that was making money during this little period here, during that little peak there, and some of this, they got their gains and they may continue to sell puts further out of the money because they know it's coming down. But look at what they're looking at. Look at the decisions that these people are faced with.
Yeah, that was one good thing. The premiums were really good on that. Yeah.
That's a tough decision to make. Like especially if you've been trading successful, all the way up until then. This is next week's premium for this stock. But based on the RSI, so I'll ask the question, based on the RSI that you just saw, about where do you think your entry point should be. You're not scared to trade it. You just know that you better not go in at a 110 strike point because it's overbought. It's coming down on you.
So yeah.
Depending on your time decay, meaning if I push this out another week where I got 2 weeks of time decay, then I definitely want to bag all the way back up here.
Yeah.
But if I got 5 days, I would bet that the stock not going to fall $25 in 5 days. I just believe that. And you know what I'm saying? But look at what they're paying to bag up. I mean, for what it's worth, this 480 is $20 away. That's what you're looking for. This is a great find, Tony. Actually.
Well, actually, because that's one thing. I like the premiums, and I think, like say when I jumped in, it was at 133. I think. Let me look at my notes here, and so I figure I forgot what premium. No, it was 130. It was 130, and I got 110. So, and
your contract expired this Friday.
Then let's see, I got paid about $300 on the premium for that.
Okay, not bad. It does it expire this week?
Yeah, this Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so Tony, you did that yesterday, right?
Yeah, Monday. I jumped in Monday and did it. Yeah.
At 1:30.
At 1:30.
The stock price was 130. I jumped in at 110. My strike was 110.
Okay.
Okay, I was just looking at like what would have happened if you stayed for another day.
Another.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. This was not as profitable
Okay.
to wait till Tuesday. So
Yeah. Okay.
you pulled the trigger the right day.
Yeah.
Last,
Yeah, like I say, on Monday, yeah, it was about $300
yeah.
on Monday when I
I'm
jumped
just
in.
remembering how last Tuesday looked
Mhm.
with what I call the Baster stock. That was BA.
BA.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was I started to wait till Tuesday. I was kind of looking and I said, let me jump in and looking at the premiums and everything looked good. So I said, and I was thinking the same thing. I said, well, maybe Tuesday, maybe it's going to go down to be less, so,
Yeah.
I'd rather just,
So right here, Delos, let's talk about something that I seem to get confused on.
Okay.
I use the term, I got the put side. You want to back up and you don't want it to come down on your head. In other words, you want the stock to keep going up.
Okay.
On the call side, if you come over on the call side, obviously you want your stuff to be executed. So now you want the price to rise on the call side, correct?
You want the stock. You on the put side, you want the stock to stay below you. On the call, above you. Sorry.
above you.
On the call side, you want it to stay below you.
Okay, below you. So that's what's not registering.
So if I put on this 135 right here, I wish that the stock just go to 130 by Friday and stop, so I can keep selling this call again and again and again and again.
Okay, stop right there.
And you're backing up.
So stop right there. I thought now I'm just saying now my put got assigned to me, so that's the only reason.
140.
It's the only reason I'll be on the call side. So I don't want the stock in this scenario.
You don't
Okay.
want the stock. Okay, so that's a different scenario.
That's the scenario that I want to paint.
Okay, hold on. Let me close this. Let's go to that scenario.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the same boat too. I don't want the stock.
Yeah, we don't want the stock. We put traders.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking too. You would want the stock to go higher.
You wanted to absorb your number, correct, by Friday, so you can be executed.
If you don't want the stock. So in this case, so I can't.
Like my strike is 140. I got it on the call side now at 140.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So I want it to go higher, right? To 141, 142, or
That's what I thought.
If you just want to get rid of the stock, you do.
yeah. Okay.
So for me and Dennis, right?
Mhm.
We don't really care if the stock stay below us, because I'm not, all you doing is running from money, which it don't matter if you're on a call or put side. If I get paid $300 a week for the rest of my life to own that stock, what's really the harm?
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I get that too. Yeah, I mean, I understand if we don't get rid of it and we, like say, like Chuck had with RCL, you know, yeah, I'm willing to keep it 5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and so how I try to get comfortable with it, right, is I go back to that analogy. If I had a $14,000 house that I got paid $1,000 a month on for the rest of my life, would I ever sell that home? No.
No.
I'm just, what most people are afraid of is I got $14,000 and I don't want to lose all of it. So, but what you tell yourself is, I'm gonna be able to collect premium on this $14,000 no matter what side of the house I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but here's where I always step in and talk about what you just said. With $14,000, of course, the premium on the call side is, let's say, $300, and nobody's griping about getting $300 the rest of their life every week.
Right, right.
But with that same $14K, if I'm on the put side, I can be in a comfortable strike and make $550.
Right. So check this out. That holds true. That's not totally true based on what you're looking at right here. So the first three numbers on the bid side, right?
Yeah.
Kind of match the first three numbers on the put side.
Yeah.
So with that strategy, all you do is end up going back over here and getting caught again because you're chasing a premium and not your position. And that's why they call it position. Like, so some people play out of position, some people play in position. So these numbers over here resemble the same three numbers over here. They're close. They may be off a few dollars, but they're close, right? Y'all can all agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this scenario they are, but I was looking earlier and I'm like, calls are usually $120, $200 less than the puts premiums.
Yeah, in some cases. So let's go a week out, right? Let's look at a week out.
Right.
All right. So let me go back so we can talk apples to apples. So say you were put the stock over here, right? So this week will have to expire in order for that transaction to happen totally, right?
Correct.
All right. So you can't look at the calls for this week because you don't even own the stock yet, right?
Okay, that's right.
Okay. So we're going to go to the next week that affects you personally. And you go, okay, now let me see what I could do over here. So if the stock got put to me at 140, I can come over here and put them back on at 140 and still collect $445. The same over here. So I'm gonna take the money and just put it back over here. But because the stock got put to you the week before, you're gonna be gun shy. So now you're gonna bag up and you're still gonna collect the $445. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's because if you get close, guess what you're saying? You're saying, hey, put it to me again. Because once you've made that $14,000 in premium, then you're off to the races then, because now you're comfortable enough to know how it feels to have something put to you and say, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's not your strategy though. It's just that, it's not your strategy, and it doesn't ever really have to be. But you need to know if that's the case, then just bag up a ways and kind of know too that from looking at the chart, Boeing, you can be sitting out here, Gerald. So this is 131. Mm-hmm. You could be $19 away and Boeing will fall on you.
Yeah.
So Delos, would you suggest going in like on this one, 130 strike, getting you $770, and it's probably gonna get assigned to you. And then once you get assigned, and then you just make your money on the call side.
Okay, good question. Good question. It determines on how comfortable you are as a investor. Mm-hmm. So if you've made $12,000, I would take the 12 that you originally came in with and scoot back. I would take the 12 that I've made and scoot it up. But it's up to you.
Yeah.
Like it's not, it doesn't matter which way you do it. There's not really a wrong way. It's just your comfort level of investing your money, right? But from what I do and what I've learned to do is I'm comfortable with the 5-10. I'll bag up here. I'll stay up here, because I'm in it to play every week. This looks impressive.
Mhm.
You just wish that the stock ran away from you at that point.
Yeah.
But I always play defense, so
Yeah.
I'm always on defense. I'm never an offensive player, so all I do is look for opportunities to get my little pieces out. I'm not trying to be noticed. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's 91 contracts sitting out here for this A15. And those people know, and I hope they know, that the earnings report is tomorrow. So this stock could be worth, 115 tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they are comfortable collecting A15,
Yeah.
which is probably 1/8, 1/16 of their initial investment of 13 grand.
Mhm.
And they feel comfortable there because so Gerald, don't take offense when I talk about the house, but I just use that analogy because that's how I got myself comfortable. I had to tell myself that. And so I always bring that up when I'm talking to anybody, not just you or Dennis or whoever I'm talking to, because that's what gave me my comfort to say, hey, it's just 14,000, because it helped me personally get over my fear because I didn't have anybody to tell me anything otherwise. So I just used that to say, hey, it's 12 grand, and I'm gonna collect. If I end up on Boeing stock for the rest of my life, I'm just gonna collect whatever premium is out there. That's just what you do, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of options trading. As long as your fundamental analysis, and if you go back and watch the first video, if you stay within those guardrails, not necessarily chasing that premium, but move back, give yourself some cushion. So that you if you don't feel comfortable with the stock falling on you, then you want to play back a little ways, and you have to know. And if you created your watch list, you will know that Boeing moves $7, $8, $9, in one day. And when you can determine that, then you can kind of say, okay, that's why the premium is what it is, because that's what volatility means.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Delos. Like, say, I don't mind having that Boeing on the call side, like you say, collecting for 8 weeks, just collecting the premium every week. I'm cool with that too. But I guess the main thing is you got to have the extra capital in your account to go out, like I did, had extra to get Wayfair or to get another stock. So I guess if you're comfortable and got the capital in your account, where you can say, okay, I'll leave Boeing on the call side and just collect my premiums, and I got enough money where I can go on the put side and get some other stuff.
Correct.
So.
Yep. And so that's what happened to Chuck. So Chuck had RCL, and if Chuck would have just gave it back, he would have just gave it away, right? I said, Chuck, if you collect $160 a week off RCL, why just you just running from the call side just to go run on the put side to get the same premium? It didn't really make any sense. But those people that they don't want the stock, so Jeanette is like, hey, not a real big fan of that strategy, that call strategy, which is her right. That's her comfort level at this moment in time. So you just say, okay, you don't want it. This is what you can do. You can just immediately come back over here. You can put it at the 140 and collect your 445. But understand your break-even point too. So even if you put it at 139, do you think you losing $100, or you gaining $445 minus the 100?
You're gaining the 455 minus the 100.
There you go. So don't be ashamed. So if I'm gonna collect $560, if I add $560 to the 13,600, I'm actually at 141. Everybody calculate that the same way? I'm actually at 14,000 and some change. So you can still come in and collect a bigger premium because they got it designed that way. So look at this. If the stock was put to you at 140, $735 plus 13,200 leaves you where? It almost puts you at the 140.
40. Yeah.
So there's nothing really to be scared of. Like it's a lot of ways you can manipulate it to get out of it what you want, but you have to understand your break-even points too. Because there's no harm in coming in here and put you got to put the stock at 140, right? Your brain tells you if I paid 140 for it, I want at least 140 back, right?
Yeah.
You come in here and put it at 138, but you still gonna collect $255 because the difference between the 455 and just take 200 off of the 455. That still puts you back at 14,000, and you still collected 255 to get rid of it. I mean, if you just wanted to get rid of it, so they kind of do that. Like it's kind of set up that way. You know what I'm saying? Where you kind of like you can get out of it if you want, or you can leave it at 140 and collect the 445 as long as you can.
Right.
But it's your strategy. I just want to give you the basics and just give you some of the stuff that I would do. But my comfort level is different, and that's why I don't talk about stuff that I'm doing, because I want you all to have your own strategy. And when you ask these questions, which are all great questions, my only go-to, Gerald, is that analogy of the house thing. So that's the only thing I can fight with. I mean, that's the one thing I put in my head over and over again to take the fear out of it. Because I was just like Jeanette at first until I didn't watch it one day. Yep, playing in the street again.
So Delos,
Yes, sir.
so once you go from, okay, now we're talking about single contracts now.
Uh-huh.
So if I have 5 to 10 options contracts, then I'm going to have 5 times or 10 times that premium. So then I can maybe afford to play a little better defense because I'm just getting a pretty good premium with those 5 to 10 contracts I have.
Absolutely. That was a good analogy, Dennis. Because typically that's what happens. Yeah, because typically that's what happens, right? That's why part of your analysis is I'm not trading in companies that don't have any meat on the bone anyway, or I shouldn't be. Bed Bath and Beyond is something you probably want to stay clear of. And the Super 6, whoever owned that, don't buy that crap neither. The Super 6, I don't know what the hell. I got into some bad deals, man. Early on, I had no coach. I came out on the field, man. I had too many plays, man.
Too many plays.
The
playbook was too thick.
Did you have a helmet on?
Shit, I don't think so. It didn't feel like it. Yeah, I had way too many plays, man. Yeah, they brought my plays out there on the Brink truck. I had to dig through the truck to get. I didn't know shit. I had one play, man. I thought it was special. Shit, it was a run and a pass. I didn't know what the hell. And then I sacked my damn self after losing 30 yards. Got up and I grabbed the flag and threw it in my damn self. I was done. I said, I don't know what I just did, but it didn't feel good or look good. I was on. If the stock market had an ESPN top plays, I've been on that damn thing every night.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, I was all over the place.
Oh man.
And
So you went to the bench after that for a little while and got everything straightened out, huh?
Man,
Hey,
I went to
you was on Shaq and the Fool.
dude. I was on You Got Mossed.
You got Moss.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You got Moss Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on Come On Man every night.
Come on.
Yeah. I was what they say, you don't know your butt from the hole in the ground.
So tomorrow will be very interesting with everything taking place with Boeing. Did I see that meeting said 10:30?
Let's go back.
I thought it was before.
Yeah, it said pre-market.
I think so. Yeah, I might try to get on there and listen to that. Yeah.
There we go.
I think 10:30.
Yeah, 10:30. So it's 9:30.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 your time. It's 9:30 for me, Tony, and Dennis.
Yeah.
So that's after the market open. It's been open for an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
So get ready for the Wild Wild West.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope there's really no reaction this week. You know, I hope what the shareholders here on the call, you know, they can live with it.
Yeah.
You know, Gerald don't even have the shares yet, but he gonna go to the meeting and he gonna walk right up to the podium. They like, who is you, sir?
Yeah.
He said, Gerald say shit. Gerald say shit. I own some of this. They like,
I own 100 shares.
right. They like security, please.
Security.
They're gonna laugh. They're gonna laugh at him. 100 shares.
Right. Now you got 100 shares of the St. Louis County Jail.
Yeah.
But no, it does say 10:30. So 10:30 Eastern.
Okay.
So G, that's 10:30 for you, 9:30 for us, Tony and Dennis.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably try to listen to it.
I'll check it out.
Hey,
Yeah.
that Wayfair was a good find though. Let's look at Shaq again. Hey, Dennis had brought this up, but you guys got your top 5 yet?
Yeah, I stay around. I find myself hovering around a couple of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So May 4th, the Shake Shack got their earnings call.
Okay.
Yep. So please just keep your journals up. Make sure you got these earnings reports
On your calendar.
On your calendar, because you may or may not want to just put options on this particular company that week. You may want to go back to them after their earnings report just to see which direction it goes. So it's not like, hey, I don't get to make any money that week. You just want to go into one of your other 5 and play it, because they're all not going to be the same earnings report. That way you can move around it. You can move around the date and still collect money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Dennis, you got to put out on Shack or whatever?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't even hard at it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even looked at it. I'll go in and take a look at it myself.
Yeah, but Tony, Gerald, you guys got any other options on the table?
No. RCL expires Friday.
Friday, okay.
We have 5 contracts over there.
That's way out the money, right?
Yes. 31 and 5 at 33.
Oh, wow.
So total of 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna let those be, and then we'll play with that little money on the put side, and depending on BA, we'll just let it ride over there on the call side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell Jeanette don't panic. I got her back.
I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, don't. Okay.
Well, after you explain it, it makes sense. Yeah, just keep collecting.
It makes much more sense now.
Yeah. Well, like when I was scared when I called Chuck and then I called you, Delos, because I didn't know once you went on the call side you got the premium. Yeah, I didn't know till you guys explained it to me.
Oh, you didn't know you got a premium on the call side?
Well, remember I talked to you and Chuck about that.
Yeah, Chuck. I don't know what Chuck told you.
He told me he was getting it for RCL, but he told me something else. It was instead of a sell to open, he told me something else to do, and that's when you cleared that. Yeah, he said it was something else, but yeah, the sell to open. You explained to me. Then you emphasized too that I got those premiums. So yeah, I was happy after that. After hearing that.
Yeah, because I'll show you. So like Let me go up here because I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat that Gerald and Jeanette gonna be in. Come. So I got mine out there at
You like 128, ain't you?
128. Yeah. Yep. And so what I was doing, G2. So I hope too if you guys kind of like try to stagger some of your weeks for some of your trades, that way they not all in the if they not in the same company, then fine. If they are, then kind of stagger, kind of offset a few and bring the ones that you push forward. Like, so as an example, I'll give you an example right now with Boeing. And this is just something that I've come accustomed to doing. Anybody tired of looking at the news yet? I know y'all done started reading stuff. Y'all like, man, this stuff done took over my brain.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time y'all see a plane, y'all go, oh boy, let me check Boeing right fast, see where they at.
I tell you what, you do that. You do those Google alerts. You gonna get you some alerts, big dog.
Oh yeah, you got. Hey, you almost have to take them off sometime just to go to bed because they coming, man.
Yep.
I got AG when I was running in the street with the wolves early on in my trading career. Man, I don't know what I had subscribed to, but they was sending this shit in Spanish.
Wow.
I was reading everything I get my hands on, man. I had lost too much money, man. I said, shit, I had learned a different language. I can read Afghanistan language. I read anything. I needed to try to get my damn money back. I was in trouble. I was reading Hebrew.
Yeah.
All right, so what an example of what I'm saying, I think we got a little time here. So if just hypothetically speaking, so I'm not going to use the week that's already in because it's got some money off of the premiums already due to the time decay. But let's go here. So I'm gonna take May 8th and May 15th as this example. First, we're gonna open up May 8th. Now, when I say stagger your trades, you can come in here because we're 1 week ahead. You can come all the way down here to the 122 and the 123 strike point. Now I just need somebody to write this down so I go to the next screen. Just write down 121, 375, and 122, 450. All right, y'all got that?
375, 122, 450.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Now let's go 1 week ahead, right? So I got two sets of $12,400 roughly. I got two sets of that, right? I'm gonna do one trade on May the 8th, and then I'm gonna submit another trade for the same strike, right? The following week. Now look at the difference. I'm gonna collect 570 for 122, 570. Also, it's the same for both. 570 for the 121. So when you kind of stagger your trades, you can collect higher premiums because you pushed it out a week, especially if the stock is, gaining ground, right? Because everybody, from a show of hands, you can tell that. Can anybody look at Boeing and say, hey, just here recently in March, this couple months ago, they was trading at $330. So at some point, this stock is going to run away from us. And then the $12,000 will become $14,000. And when it jumps up $20 one particular day, it'll be in the 19. Then you'll be spending $19,000. Then to catch the premium again, you'll be at the $23,000, and so on and so forth. And you're going to follow that all the way back to the 300s, because that's what happened. In 1 week's time, Boeing was trading at $90. I can go back to the chart. And these are just things that I've learned, I've done in the past. You don't have to do them. It's just good to know, right? Good to know. Just know that it exists. Like, you don't have to do any of it. Just know that it exists. These are just things some people might try to sell you a subscription to say. It's like, it's right in front of you. You're just looking ahead, right? And say, hey, you know, there's option traders out there. They just sell monthlies. That's all they do. They want to look at a stock every week. They don't want to look at it every 2 weeks. So as an example, you got guys that'll just say, hey, I'm going to put this on here May 29th, and they don't want the headache of they don't want the headache of following it, which I've never been a fan of a monthly. They throw it out there 31 days. And they'll just say, hey, I'll just leave it at 127, rain, sleet, or snow. Those guys have plenty of cash though. So that's just what people do. They say, I'll just sell a monthly. They're leaving money on the table, but they're not as active. They're nowhere near as active. Like, you can see not a whole lot of that, but clearly, you got people that's out here a couple months out, man, 91 contracts on the table. 119, when they got this volume number, that the reason why this number sometimes is higher than this number, because these are people that may have sold out of a contract and the number just don't clear until the end of the day, so to speak. But these are people that got in the contract, the stock price moved up, and they got back out. What are we about to look at? Lost my train of thought. Let me see. Oh, I was gonna go to the chart. Let me see. Okay, year to date. This is when it happened right here. So this is when Chuck, I think, yeah, $95. Everybody see that price up there on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Close 95.01. So this past March 23rd, Boeing fell as low as $95 a share. That's when Chuck bought it. Let's see what happened just 8 days later. Boeing, 8 days from that day, Boeing was at $162. When I say Boeing will run away from you, Boeing will run. Just a week prior, everybody that had $9,000 was like, I'm getting in, I'm getting in, I'm getting in.
Yeah.
A week later, they can't afford to get in.
Yeah.
Not unless they got double the money they just had to have a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Boeing will be trading at this number in the very near future.
Yep.
Just FYI. So make your $12,000 useful while you can.
You're not. Right.
Yeah, because it'll run away from you. But is everybody kind of comfortable with what they're doing so far? Is it stressful for anybody yet?
No, it's not stressful. And the good thing about what you're talking about is we're going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be relative to us because we're compounding and growing right now. So hopefully by the time Boeing gets back to its normalcy, it'll be all relative to us. We'll be like, okay, run it. We here. We still here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I kind of brought that up when we first started talking that, hey, some of these stocks have run away from you. It happened with Wayfair. I'm going to go back there. You can kind of see the same thing happen. And in the chart and in the RSI, you can kind of see like right here, it just ran, I mean, you're talking about this March 23rd. So this March 23rd, Wayfair trading at it closed at $30. It was as low as $26.25.
Yeah.
You're talking about less than 20 days later, Wayfair trading at $100. That's 3 times the amount it just was 20 days ago. 3 times the amount. So in other words, if you had put in $12,000, if you bought it at that price, you would have $52,000. That's just holding it. And that's why it's safe to get you a grouping of stocks. I know I said look at 5. I initially said get 15, but as you grow, you will not miss these moments because you would kind of know the history of it, and you won't ever miss these little moments again. And I don't know what the 52-week high was. Let me go to the summary.
That really was 166.
Yeah, so there's still kind of possibly some room there on the table, and so these stocks typically move during these periods of time where people are just at home ordering stuff. So keep in mind, you got Thanksgiving is going to jump up right before Christmas. The stock's going to jump up, but then you got to put that with the earnings report. So just do your due diligence. The analysts are not giving it great ratings at the moment. You can kind of dial into why this is. What's the deal behind that? I like Five Below. First Five Below I ever been to was in Atlanta. I love Five Below because I can afford everything in the store. I feel good when I can go in the store and buy everything that I want. So Five Below, I've been following Five Below. Now I bought Five Below back. It's been a while, but I bought Five Below at like 100. Five Below is with 52-week, $148. Currently at 90. I bought Five Below at 115 and sold it at 127. So Five Below is a good store. I mean, obviously they got according to this, right? So you look at this little update here. Target's soaring online growth suggests scared shoppers may not return when the malls and the department stores reopen. Just little stuff, that's on that TD Ameritrade give you this. Has anybody ever paid attention to this comment right here? When they talk about downgraded from, so right here, they may have a stock at accumulate, meaning buy more, buy more, buy more. So after they downgrade a stock, they'll have a percentage of how the stock did since they put that alert on. So since they put this, since they moved from accumulate to hold the stock, because that's what these mean. Accumulate more stock, don't sell it, but hold it. Don't buy no more, but don't sell it either. Just keep it or reduce. So what they'll do is they'll put up accumulate, meaning continue to buy it for all you stock buyers. And then so since they've downgraded it to hold, it has lost 16% of its value. And it's just good information to know. Does everybody like TD Ameritrade platform? Is it?
Yeah.
It give you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just making sure that that you all get familiar with it. Go in there. It's packed with information. That Thinkorswim, man, it's a monster.
It is a monster.
It is a monster. I'm waiting on Gerald to become a pro at that so he can teach the class.
Yeah.
It's just you have these little things that you go in here. So let me see what because as you guys grow, you'll start doing all kinds of stuff, all kind of fun, unique stuff to your own trading strategy. Not bad. I mean, considering, but you would almost kind of want to own this. The reason why I stay away from Five Below option trading is because, hey, Gerald, your favorite part of the show, look at the call side. They not offering anything.
Whoa.
I wouldn't want to own. I wouldn't want to unless I was into it for other reasons. You know what I mean? Like a option trading strategy. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
There's nothing there.
What week are you in?
The 10 days the expiration.
Yeah.
So if I'm at 10 days expiration, you know this one here ain't got nothing coming.
Nada.
Oh, huh. I don't know. Maybe the chart ain't updated, but it's still low relatively
Yeah.
considering. So
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any questions before we conclude for the day?
Oh, good, man.
You just need to call Chuck and tell him he got an F today.
Oh yeah, Chuck gonna funk out of class. And you know what? Chuck stopped coming to class as soon as that money hit in his account. I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you though, like I told you earlier, I say you'd have been proud of him last night, man. He
Okay.
he
Yeah.
facilitated, and me and Tony just kind of we plugged in and kind of helped from the rear. But Chuck did facilitate the meeting last night.
Yeah, he
Cool,
did.
man.
He did, yeah.
So Dennis, have you what it is? Gerald and Chuck and Tony bringing in some of their family members. So they started a session outside of this one to get all those family members brought up to speed.
Yeah, and it's a Monday deal.
Yeah, we're just doing one day a week on Mondays, and actually had a good turnout. Had quite a few family members that came in, and a lot of them are interested.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work with them and everything. So
That's
yeah,
great.
Really just follow the lead that you set. So we'll go review the information of the first meeting, and that's what we gave them. Now we review the information of the second meeting, and we'll give them that. And I mean, literally everything from Can Slim to the video that you sent us, the book.
Yeah.
Chuck was sounding like you, Delos, man. He was repeating a lot of the analogies and stuff.
All
that
your
you
ad libs and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you know what though? I'm proud of Chuck.
Yeah.
Cause you'll see how beneficial this is as you continue to grow. And you'll know exactly what to do. I mean, you already 50% there. And all it is just adding to what you know and getting creative with your trading and staying in your guardrails and then you'll after you start doubling and tripling your money, you'll probably say, oh man, you know what, I don't want to have to look at this, so I'm gonna just go grab this 300 right quick, or I'll just grab this 400 or whatever, and you'll be setting yourself up so far out the money that you won't even be sweating it.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm open for next week. I mean, for Thursday for suggestions on what you guys want to cover. Don't want to keep talking about the same things, but I mean, it kind of works to keep going over it and over it and over it until you kind of smell like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to keep it embedded. But as you can see, there's really not a whole lot of fancy stuff to do. You know, it's just sticking to the program that you've learned, and sticking to the program that you're gonna incorporate, down the line for yourself. So, it's just that once you get to the capital that you desire, you have the only thing that should change is you're gonna get more contracts, and more contracts is equivalent to more premiums and so on and so forth. And next thing you know, your account is at 150,000, 200,000, and you doing all kind of amazing things for other people and yourself.
So Delos, on average, weekly, but how many contracts or companies are you usually going with?
13.
About 13 a week? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So to put a dollar amount to that, it's like right at like 3,500 to 4,000 a week.
Okay.
Goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony, I came back from what it was a $25,000 loss.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm, just
talk
happy,
about that.
I lost all of it.
I'm just happy right now to just do 2 or 3 a week, you know. I'm
Yeah,
satisfied with that.
it takes time. It takes time, Tony. All you gotta do, man, is just stick to your guns,
Yeah.
stick to what you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
as you read material right, it's gonna a lot of more things are gonna come at you. And if you smart guy, you just know, hey, this don't make sense, this do make sense, type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we not trying to guess the direction of the market. We just trying to stay out the way.
Yeah.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I don't care if the market go up or down. I'm just trying to stay far enough back to survive the 12th round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Collect your
Yeah.
ducats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to get knocked out in the second round.
right? And you damn sure don't want to fight to the 12th round 10 seconds before the bell and get knocked into the stands. Because that's what happened. You be like, damn.
I was that close.
You be like, hey, I should have read one more book. Hey, that's how I used to feel, Tony. I'm like, shit, I should have read one more book. This must be in the other book.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
I forgot to go to duck school.
Hey.
Say, hey, he know how to jab. His ass don't know how to duck. I hope he got he can't duck to save his life.
That's life though. You live and you learn.
Yep, live, learn, and get knocked to the front row.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, you be in the damn stands looking back at the fight. You be like, damn, who he fighting?
Who he fighting? Oh, me.
Oh, that's why they counting over here. Oh damn. Yeah.
Oh man, boy.
All right. So hey, text me about some stuff, man. Y'all wanna
Okay.
we can read through some stuff outside of TD Ameritrade platform. AG, why don't you lead the class tomorrow and just teach us what you know about the Thinkorswim so far?
Yep.
Okay.
That way we can all start looking at that and migrating into that a little bit, because it is a lot. It's a ton. But
It
just
is a
some of the little bullets that you got so far, that'll be much appreciated.
I like to know too. I got it on my phone, but on my trade, I'm also on my computer doing. I like to on the phone. It looks pretty simple about buying and trade, selling on your phone. So
Yeah.
with the Thinkorswim, yeah. I just been going through the TD Ameritrade right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Gerald can do both, right?
Yeah.
Gerald can go over
So,
the app. I know that's
Yeah.
his go-to right there, the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forced myself. Once we learn how to put them charts on there, that RSI and the moving day averages, I was like, I'm gonna rock with this Thinkorswim mobile.
Yeah.
Now what he's referencing, Tony, is the platform, the Thinkorswim platform on the laptop too.
Okay, I got them on both. I got both
Right.
on my desktop and my phone.
And I was like you at first. I was super comfortable
Yeah.
just doing trades on the TD Ameritrade platform. But now I can do some quicker calculations on the mobile, and they're pretty much all the same, except the TD Ameritrade platform. Because Jeanette used to get caught up on, is it sell to open or is it buy to close? And on the TD Ameritrade platform, the default comes up when you go in there, so you straight, especially if you just putting a put option.
Yeah, it'd be good because next week Evelyn and I are going up to Oklahoma, so I'm gonna be away from the office and the desktop, so I'm gonna have my phone. So
Yep.
while I'm on the road and stuff, yeah, it'd be good to know.
Oh, y'all comfortable. Y'all traveling already.
Yeah, we're going up Oklahoma City next Friday. She's on vacation, so yeah, we're just gonna go up and stay at one of our properties. It's vacant right now, and stay up there and see her family and stuff.
Okay.
So,
That's what's up, man.
yep. Oh yeah.
All right, brothers. Well, I'll text you too, Delos, with anything I got, man.
Okay, yeah, and so Gerald, we look forward to knowing what you know so far on the Thinkorswim platform.
I'll try not to disappoint, brother.
All right.
No, it's all good.
Yep.
Hey,
All
Dennis,
good, man.
all right, well, I'll chat at you all Thursday.
All right, everybody.
Okay,
Okay.
guys.
All right,
Enjoy
take care
it.
now.
Delos.
Okay.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.